Welcome to Let's Be Perfectly Queer.
A queer podcast creating space to talk about all things queer.
My name is Archie.
And I'm Katie.
And we are your hosts.
Questions of how you identify, seeking answers to clarify. Whether you're queen
or somewhere in between, let's be perfectly queer.
We are back.
And what are we talking about on this episode?
So on this episode, because last episode was a really hectic episode and we are recording them in sequential order. This episode is a really easy episode and is about some stupid facts I found about LGBT. It says 82 facts about the LGBT.
Okay.
It's this random fact retriever.com.
Yep.
And it's just this stupid site that's about...
So where did you come upon randomfactretriever.com?
Well, I mean, sometimes I just peruse shit.
Yeah.
That's basically me. Do you know what? It says interesting facts for the curious mind. And I felt like that's me.
Sure.
So we've got 82, because that's the number, interesting facts about LGBT. Want to get into it?
Sure.
Let's do it.
I'm just waiting for you.
Number 1. The planet Mercury is a symbol used for the transgender community. The sign for Mercury is a crescent shape with a cross. What? The sign for Mercury is a crescent shape and a cross which represents both the male and female principles in harmony in an individual.
Never heard of that.
Never heard of it either. Don't know if it's true.
Okay.
Fact or fiction? Shit, who knows?
Someone tell us. Someone who's listening, is that fact or is it fiction?
Truth or false? Who knows? Number 2, I'm not going to say because I can't actually pronounce the word.
Okay.
Number 3, in 1987, Delta Airways in America anyway, apologized for arguing in a plane crash litigation that they should pay less for compensation for a life of a gay passenger, referring to gay males, because they said that heterosexual... So, let me say that again, because my brain was like, in 1987... Delta Airways apologized for arguing in plane crash litigations that they should pay less in compensation for the life of a gay passenger than a heterosexual one because he may have AIDS.
Wow.
1987 as well. That's only 2 years before you were born.
Wasn't it still illegal to be gay in Australia for 2 years before I was born?
Absolutely. This was before WHO came along and was like, it's not a mental illness.
Yeah.
Honestly. It's fucking crazy. The number of gay and lesbians, so this was in 2019, by the way. So the number of gay and lesbians in the US is estimated at approximately 8.8 million people.
Oh, wow. That's pretty good.
I don't know how many are in Australia.
I have no idea. And I think that, once they fix the census, we'll know.
I know. It's so true. So true. Census people do it. Approximately 1 million children in the US are raised by same-sex couples.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's lovely.
It is lovely. Not many. Definitely not many. No research
Can I just go back before you say that? So for those who say that the queer community are indoctrinating kids, apparently it's the straight community if there is 8 million to the 1 million kids who are, who have LGBTQIA plus parents.
Absolutely. So true.
So
if
it's
anything,
you straight heterosexuals listening, you're the ones who create the queers.
Have you noticed that most gay parents don't have gay kids? This is not based on statistics, but this is just generally how it is. So you know how often you'll have families where parents are heterosexual, they have all these kids and all the complement of kids are some form of gay.
Yes.
They're queer somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Those queer people, a lot of them don't have kids, and the ones that do have kids don't have queer kids. Queer people aren't necessarily making the queers. It's you guys.
Exactly. There's stats and data to back it up.
Anyway, so no research has conclusively proven that what causes homosexuality, heterosexuality, or bisexuality.
That sounds pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I love it. Scientists estimate that approximately 5% of the total human population worldwide have homosexual orientations.
Interesting.
I think that would be really interesting if you actually looked at it. Because, if you're thinking about it, 5% of the population, a lot of those areas you're not going to get statistics on.
Yep.
Because you're not doing censuses in India,
no.
in your rural communities about who's gay. Not happening. Also, they wouldn't be doing it in China as well because there's a lot of things that they don't censor. So in China, they actually don't, not saying that intersex people are necessarily queer. We've talked about that previously. But in China, part of their statistics, they don't count intersex people. They just do male or female.
Yeah.
So, like, there's all, like, 5% is nothing. There is a lot more than 5% of people who have homosexual orientation, as well as you've got to account when, like, some people have had homosexual experiences or queer I hate the word homosexual. I don't know why I do. I find it triggering.
Yeah. Is it because of homophobia and then it's like attached to that? Is that what it is?
I think it's when we grew up and everyone's like, you're such a homo.
Yeah.
And be like,
they still do. They still say
that's
it.
just short for homosexual technically. So anyway, the state with the most gay people is California.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
Guess how many people?
If there's 8 million in the US,
Yeah.
I'd say at least 4 million.
Nah, unfortunately not. Approximately 92,138. I say approximately. That's a very, like, accurate number.
So
Not
why?
accurate.
Where are they all? I just thought that. I guess
if you think of America.
you'd also have some. I guess you've also got New York and I don't know.
Florida.
I was going to say no. Florida's pretty homophobic
It is, isn't it?
with the "Don't
New
Say Gay" bill.
Orleans?
Yeah, maybe New Orleans,
Don't know. Guess the state that's got the least gay couples.
Texas.
North Dakota.
Oh, I thought it'd be Texas.
Apparently they've only got 703 couples.
Who are out?
True. The US state/district with the highest concentration of gay couples is Washington, D.C.
Just a quick trigger warning. We are going to talk about suicide just for a second. So if that is triggering, please take care while listening.
So, gay teen suicides are more common in politically conservative regions.
Doesn't surprise me.
We know this.
Yeah.
Why is this?
Because they're not accepted. When you're not accepted, it's hard to live in a state where
Like, people are
everybody...
going to persecute you.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to get bashed for being gay, it's not going to make you feel great about yourself.
No.
You're going to end up hating your life because you're not going to be safe anywhere. Safe at work, at home, at school, or anywhere. You're not going to be safe.
I do bring this back to my experience and living in a small country town, that the whole community were very open about their hatred and disgust towards the queer community. It was so normalized.
It's because you can't be diluted. In a big city, you get diluted.
Yes.
And like, there are more people with more ideas and more people to be like, hey, that's a stupid way of thinking. Why do you hate a whole group of people?
Right. And
when
then
you don't know that group of people.
And then my family wonder why I have not been back. I have not been back since I transitioned because of the disgusting homophobic comments and ideology that comes out of that town. Unfortunately, you know?
Yeah, true. Apparently, gay people tend to be left-handed much more than heterosexual.
I think I've heard that fact before.
I wonder.
Yeah.
If that's different in different countries, because you know how, like, back in the day, it used to be beaten out of you if you were
Yes.
left-handed, whereas now left-handed is just like,
Yeah.
left-handed. It is what it is.
Yeah, your writing's just going to smudge.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Whiteboards are not going to be your friend.
No, not at all.
Gay or lesbian teens are 50% more likely to use alcohol and 3 times more likely to use marijuana than heterosexual teens. They are also more likely to be homeless.
Yeah, I knew this fact because we did a PD, teaching PD about this, and I did a PD about it, that yes, kids who are LGBT are more likely to turn towards substance abuse, alcohol, drugs, which doesn't surprise me at all.
There's this one, and I don't know how I feel about it because I don't feel like it's real. So it says that there's some evidence that increased levels of steroids in the womb increases the chance that a girl will be a lesbian.
This is quite interesting. So in university, I did a radio story, right?
Yeah.
And I looked at, I can't remember. Oh, yeah, that's right. So I was talking to someone who was kicked out of home because they were gay. And so as part of the assessment, you had to do some kind of research and stuff. And he's like, oh, why don't you research, what makes someone gay? Anyway.
Okay.
So I was like, this doesn't make sense. But sure, I went and I looked at medical journals and I went all down the rabbit hole. And actually, so there was some basis to this, okay? And so there was some research, like, look, take this with a grain of salt because ADHD memory. But in this research that I remember from my point of view, it said something about steroids, but it also said something about the hormones that the mum produces, right?
Okay.
So, for example, if a mum has 3 boys, if the first two are straight, it is more likely that the last one will be gay
Okay.
because of the hormones and the kids in there taking the testosterone from the mum's womb and being straight, right? Take this with a grain of salt. And so the same thing would happen. So, for example, if you were to have two boys and a girl, if the first guy is straight, the second son is gay, then they might have taken all the estrogen or whatever it may be, or, that's not how sexuality works, but it's like some of the theories. The daughter would take the testosterone from the womb and be more likely to be lesbian.
But that doesn't make sense because
Look,
gay...
I don't know.
Because there is nothing proving, like there's no evidence to say that lesbians have high level of testosterone or that gay men have lower levels of testosterone, because that's actually not true. It's an interesting theory.
It's an interesting theory, and, I don't know if it's true. It was one medical journal that I read when I was, in university. But I just thought it was quite interesting, and I was like, oh, it's just something interesting to think about.
Yeah. Apparently, homosexuality has been recorded in China since ancient times, and it has often been referred to as, in quotations, the cut sleeve and the pleasure of the bitten peach.
Interesting. I'm assuming it's bad translation.
Who knows? Scholars speculate that the growing acceptance of homosexuality in China is due to China's one-child policy. Additionally, unlike the United States and Europe, which are predominantly Christian, and Southeast Asia, which are predominantly Muslim, China has no dominant religion to fuel debates against homosexuality. Therefore, researchers believe that homophobia in China is simply a European import.
Interesting.
Ooh! If one identical twin is gay, the other one has about a 20 to 50% chance of being gay. Because it's not 100%, scientists speculate that homosexuality is a result of the interplay of environmental factors, surge of hormones in the room, a virus, etc., and genetics.
I'm pretty sure we've said this on the podcast before.
Yeah, I think we have.
Yeah.
Because you're a twin.
Yeah, I think we've said this before.
But you and your sister very different.
Correct.
Studies have shown that gay men have more feminized patterns for certain cognitive tasks, such as spatial perception and remembering where objects are placed. Studies have also shown masculinized results for lesbians in inner ear function and eye blinking reactions to loud noises.
What? Wait a minute. Since when is blinking to fast reactions a male thing and knowing where objects are a female thing?
These scientists...
Do you know where objects are?
I do. I always know where objects are. Thank you very much.
Anyway, that makes no sense.
So in 1629, the Virginia court recorded the first instance of sexual ambiguity, sorry, I find it really hard saying that word, among the American colonists. A servant called Thomas or Thomasine Hall is officially declared by the governor as both a man and a woman and ordered to wear articles of each sex's clothing.
Interesting. How does that work? Like a skirt and a pants?
Do you reckon it would be like alternate days?
Maybe. I was thinking more like skirt below and like a button up. Like that kind of look.
Isn't that just what they normally wore? The women normally wore just like buttons up and skirts.
I don't know.
Maybe she had to wear a top hat.
Maybe.
Maybe
or
they had to wear a top hat and bow tie.
Maybe.
And a moustache.
Possibly.
With long hair.
Possibly. I have no idea.
Look like Dave Kroll. In 1860, Walt Whitman published the homoerotic Leaves of Grass, which later inspired numerous gay poets.
Do you have any verses from that?
No, I don't. Oh, how interesting. The first published piece about homosexuality by an African-American writer is a short story called Smoke, Lilies and Jade by Bruce Nugent. The first US lesbian magazine was titled Vice Versa and was written by the pseudonym Lisa Ben, an anagram for lesbian.
Very cool. I like that.
I like that too. The first lesbian organization in the United States was formed in 1955 called the Daughters of Bilitis, which is really hard to read, and is founded in San Francisco by Del Martin and Phyllis Lyon. I wonder what they did.
Also, for a country that is so homophobic now, they did have a lot of queer individuals pave the way forward for the LGBTQIA plus community. And it's so sad to see how far backwards they've come in the last few years.
Yeah, it's so true, isn't it? I don't believe this is fact because we've talked about the pink triangle, but it says the pink triangle was a symbol gay men would wear in Nazi concentration camps during World War II.
Yeah, that's correct.
Oh, wait.
That is the pink triangle. We already know
Is that
this.
the same one?
Yes.
Did we actually say that?
Yes.
Shit, man. Love ya.
Nice to see that you actually pay attention to me.
I do, at the time.
Sure.
In 1960s, the term AC/DC referred to a person who had sex with men or women that came from the abbreviation of two types of electrical currents as alternative currents and a direct current. So bisexual people were AC/DCs, akadakas.
Yeah.
Did you know in 1982, the gay-related immune disorder GRID was renamed AIDS?
So what was it originally called?
Gay-related immune disorder.
Oh,
I didn't realise that.
I didn't know that. Is that true?
I don't know. Yeah.
Wow.
This is the first AIDS alert. The disease was first given the name GRID, gay-related immune disorder, gay plague, or even gay syndrome.
I knew about the gay syndrome, but I didn't know, like, that was the name that was given to it, the first one that you said.
Yeah. It's like, what is GRID disease? Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Oh, wow. This is a good one.
Are we going to finish on this one?
We're going to finish on this one because I really like it. It's very cute. The entire species of dwarf chimpanzee are bisexual.
I didn't even know there was such a thing called a dwarf chimpanzee.
I know. Homosexual behaviour has been observed in over 1,500 animal species and is most widespread among animals with a herd complex.
Interesting.
Like
Did not
us.
know that. Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah, because we all want to belong and be a part of a herd. So, yeah. Yeah, we're just another version of an animal.
Don't blame us. Blame biology.
Exactly.
Thanks for listening, guys. I really appreciate it. Sometimes we just need lighthearted shit. And like, to be honest, I was whipping through a lot of them and they're quite entertaining. And I don't know how true they are, but it's funny when the ones that sound the least true and you have a look at them and you're like, shit.
They're actually true.
Yeah, like grids.
Yeah, I would not have known that.
Yeah, learn something new every day.
You do.
Thank you for listening. Do a subscribe.
No.
Have you not watched Monty Python? People love Monty Python. We could be the new Monty Python.
I don't think so.
Do you not think that's the box we can go into?
No.
I think it is. I think we're two different podcasts mushed together as one. Rate, review, and subscribe. Give us 5 stars. We love us. You love us. It's great.
I think Katie's gone delirious, so it's time to end the episode. Thanks so much for listening. Don't forget you can find us on Instagram at Let's Be Perfectly Queer Podcast and send us a message, send us a DM, get in touch and
send us an email, let's be perfectly queer pod at gmail.com. And you can send us a message now on just your listening platforms.
Yep, that link right at the top that says send us a text message, it goes to our new inbox called Fan Mail. So send us a message and we'd love to hear from you. Unfortunately, we can't reply through the fan mail. Unless you give us your Instagram handle or something like that, we can't actually reply through the fan mail. But please send through, if you want to send through stuff anonymously, share your stories. We really would love that if you did that.
And if you want us to specifically share, just tell us that you want us to read it on the podcast and we'll have a read of it. It'll be great.
Until next time, I hope that we have been
perfectly queer.
Let's be perfectly queer.